Brilliant. Okay, so thank you for joining us for what we call in the membership Cleanse and Heal. And very briefly, I just want to go into what the membership is. Basically, we meet every single week on a Wednesday, and we will do usually around 8 o'clock, 8 to 8:30, depending on what the session is. And the first session of the month is what we're going to be doing today, where we go into the energy side of things, where we clear that out. We do a bit of healing at the same time, plus some meditation practice. This piece is actually really unique. You can get meditation circles just by Googling and joining in, going to live gatherings, etc., usually in person. But this part with the cleanse and heal, where basically we're looking at the strands and the energy around you, that's unique to me because it's the way that I work, which is literally picking out the threads that's connected to certain areas. And what you've given me here already is fabulous. So that's brilliant. And then, so that's the first Wednesday of the month. And then all the other Wednesdays of the month, we just do, I say just, we gather together and we basically come together in meditation. I guide you through a new meditation each and every week. It gets downloaded to me at the time that we meet. It's always going to be connecting with the body and the breath before we then start to go off into a wonderful journey somewhere. It could be crystals, it could be caves, it could be chakras. Really don't know until we actually start the process, because I get guided and therefore you get guided by me and what I call the Light Gang. So the Light Gang are ascended masters. For instance, Mary Magdalene, Master Jesus, Saint Germain, Mother Mary, Kuan Yin. There's heaps of them, but it's kind of recognizing that you might not know who those ascended masters are, but it's okay. They're here with love and light, and they're here to support us and to help us move into a better version of ourselves. So their support is always welcome. We also invite in the angels of basically love, light, and healing, and we invite them into our space. Light beings who've never been reprogrammed by the dark. So you might call those extraterrestrials, but basically they're energy beings that have never been a human, possibly, or are just not part of our planet, but they're here again to support our growth in a beautiful, loving, cherishing way. I also always invite in the Reiki masters, past and future, because I'm a Reiki master, so I'd like the support of my lineage with that. We also invite in guides, ancestors. So these would be your ancient ancestors who basically were really connected to the earth. So you're talking about those sort of tribes that were round a campfire, singing songs, telling stories, those sorts of ancestors that have a really deep wisdom within them in simpler times. Is there anyone? Yes, and we invite in loved ones that have passed, again, as long as they come with 100% pure love as the intention. So we invite all of them in, and the angels, the archangels, we invite them into our space, and then we ask them to hold that space for the highest good that can be achieved in our session. So that's what happens with every single one of our sessions held by the Light Gang. Got a little note because my head's a bit woolly today, so I'm trying to remember what else I meant to say to you. Where are we? Yes, so there is a fast acting bonus. So normally this membership would be £44 a month, which basically works out at £11 a week for an hour of guided self-care, an hour that you can put aside for you, for nobody else. But if you decide to join us, and you'll know by the ends of this whether this is something you really want, then we can do basically up until midnight tomorrow, which is Thursday, the 26th of October. There will be a fast acting bonus, which means you get your monthly membership discounted to £33 a month, plus you get our live chakra balancing workshop, which I'll be holding next week. And again, there'll be a recording for that. So that's really excited. I'll be excited to deliver that with you. And also, so that fast acting bonus where you get the £33 a month membership disappears midnight Thursday. And from that point onwards, it's £44 a month, but you will still get the bonus of the chakra balancing workshop, if that appeals to you, so long as you sign up by midday on the 31st of October. I'm trying to remember my dates. And from that point onwards, that's because we're delivering it on the 31st of October. So I just want everyone signed up before we do it. And from that point onwards, for about another week or so, there'll be no extra bonuses. It will just be the membership fee. Hopefully that's covered everything I need to say, apart from tonight's recording and Monday's recording will be sent out together in an email tomorrow, okay, because I won't be uploading that tonight, but you will have an email come out tonight which will tell you more about the fast acting bonuses and where to click, all that sort of thing. So if you are interested, then that will be the email to look out for. Okay, so I'm just going to call in the light gang, and I'm going to switch on the music before I forget. Oh, and one other thing I should say is cleanse and heal isn't usually a very static experience in the first 20 minutes or so. We tend to do a bit of movement. That could be Kundalini yoga movement. It could be moving breath work. We could be moving our arms, which we've done. We could be chanting. There's all sorts of things that we've been guided to do. But once we've cleared the energy, we then move into a space where you can just snuggle down and you don't need to do a thing. You're just going to be guided. Okay, so are there any questions before I carry on? Just pop them in the chat. I'm just pausing because I can't see if anyone's typing until it comes up. No questions, bless you. Thank you. Brilliant. Okay, so the first thing I want us to do, which I always ask us to do, is to take 3 breaths together. We're going to come in through the nose and then a long out breath through the mouth. We do that so that we can reconnect the head with the body. Also, that with the long out breath, we can then start to settle into the parasympathetic nervous phase, which is basically the nervous system in its relaxed rest, digest, and heal phase. Excuse me. So with that phase, we're more open, we're more receptive, we're more easily surrendering to the light energies that allow us to then move into a better place. Okay, so those 3 breaths, let's take those breaths together. Palms facing upwards if you can, just resting on your lap. Breathe into the belly space rather than the top of the chest. If you breathe in here, you'll run out of space. If you breathe into the belly, you can then continue to fill up into the chest. Okay, so when you're ready, come in with me as we breathe in. And then a nice long out breath out. And again, 2 breaths coming in. And long out breath out. If at any point you want to make a noise with the out breath or a groan or a sigh, go ahead, do that. That's exactly what your body's needing. So this is where I'm encouraging you to start to listen to what your body and your energy, your emotions, all of that actually needs. I want you to reconnect with you in the truth, in a held space, in love and light. Okay, one more time. And do excuse me coughing, I've got a bit of a cold. So breathing in. Fill up that belly space and then release it out through the mouth. Beautiful. Now start to settle into your own breathing pattern that feels relaxed, okay? And I'm going to call in the energies that I always get to hold this space. As I've already mentioned, the light gang that come. I also have specific parts that I require at the beginning of this so that we can hold a sacred space, a sacred container, so that everything that's released can be released properly out of the system. And also that we are held in a loving, nourishing, nurturing kind of a way. So while you're breathing gently, you don't need to do anything other than hear me call in the light gang. So I ask, I pray, and I intend for the directions of the north, south, east, and west to join us and bringing their beautiful, loving energies. The elements of air and water, fire and earth, lend us your healing qualities. As I call in Archangel Raphael, Archangel Michael, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Uriel, and Archangel Shamuel. Please join us, archangels. Please hold this space with love and light. Please fill this group heart space with a healing energy that allows everything healing and light-filled and love-filled to be brought in, and that which is less than that to be released. As we call in the Ascended Masters, the angels of love, light, and healing, the ancestors, Reiki masters, past and future, Reiki guides, loved ones who come in 100% pure love, and light beings who come in with 100% pure love, never been reprogrammed by the dark. We invite you into this space to hold us with your wisdom, your clarity, your care, your compassion, and your love. And so it is. Okay, so now that we've brought them in, I'm going to ask you now, just going to settle into my heart and see what comes first. Okay, this could be because I'm feeling under the weather, but it's a good technique to learn. So what I'd like you to do is we're going to do 3 Kundalini postures, and we're going to start. I'm going to try and see if I can push that out so you can see me. Bear with as I knock everything over. Okay, let's see if you can see that. So we're going to ask for you to have your arms outstretched, and we're literally going to come up to the top, but we're not crossing over. We're just having our hands coming up to the top, okay? If this is too uncomfortable, make it limited and just literally keep your elbows in and move your arms. So we're going to do that one first, where we're coming up to the top. Then the next one will be up to the top, but crossing over, okay, and out again. And we will do these about 10 each. And then the final one is a really gorgeous one where we kind of scoop the energy in front of us, imagining that we're connecting to a pool of golden light. And then as we scoop, we lift it over the top of our heads, okay? And we just keep repeating that, about 10 breaths, okay? Now, the reason we do this, actually, I might leave that there so I don't knock it over. The reason we do this is because we are wanting to clear our energy, so our aura, our electromagnetic field that is around us, whether we believe in it or not. That energy field is there, and we want it clean so that everything that we receive comes through clear filters, and everything we put out has a better chance of being received through clean and clear filters. Okay, so I'm going to start the music. And coming back to here, there we are. So this music also has a high frequency, and that high frequency will cleanse your energy as we're doing the work. So it's like double whammy of goodness. Okay, so let's take a breath in. Release that breath out. Now bring your arms out to the side, and with breath in, lift your arms up. With a breath out, bring them down. And you're going to repeat that in your pace. Now we're going to come up and we're going to cross over. If that's too uncomfortable for you to have your arms all the way up, is it hard on your shoulders? Just do it here, okay? Don't have to be full extreme up. It's just, it clears your aura in a bigger way, that's all. So when you're ready, breathing in, breathing out, and let's begin. Breathing up and in, crossing over, breathing out. And again, at your pace, so you can get lightheaded, nice and comfy. Beautiful. And now you might feel, if you're sensitive, you might start to feel that your energy has this kind of zingy sensation. And it doesn't matter if you can't feel that. Remember, everything's a learning process. And the more you do these sorts of things, the more aware you'll become. Also, you might have a different sensation, and that's also okay. The main thing right now is that you are not fizzy in the head to the point where you feel a bit woolly-headed. If you are, then I suggest you just sit calmly, and we'll intend that this the scooping part comes over you with golden goodness. Okay, so when you are ready, if you're joining in, let's scoop forward into that golden pool and then chuck it over the heads. Lovely. And we're going to do about 10 of these. So as we breathe in, we move forward. As we breathe out, we chuck it over the top. Okay. Just got my microphone again. Stay. There we are. Going to do 2 more. Well done. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling very warm after that. I'm just going to take my slippers off. Just try and make sure that you are comfortable and not overheating. So if you are overheating, you've got a blanket on, take the blanket off. You know how to look after yourself. And I'm going to ask you that you do that whenever you do these exercises. So now that we've started to clean our energy, the first thing I'm going to ask is for all general resistances to come up. And then I'm going to want you to repeat the clearing statement with me. Now, this clearing statement basically clears out a layer of energy. This particular clearing statement was created by a lady called Yvette Taylor, who is the founder of Energy Alignment Method, which I love. It's one of the first energy clearing modalities that I came across. Since then, I've come across quite a few actually, but it's a really nice, simple way. You just repeat what I have to tell you, and I will leave a gap for you, and then that will start to clear your energy. So, placing your arms down as if your hands are like Teflon saucepans, nothing can stick to them. Just chuck them down the sides of you. Feel your feet flat on the floor. Now, ideally, we'd ask you to do this standing up, but that feels a little disruptive right now, so we're going to do it sitting down. It works just as fine. Okay, so repeat after me. I now release all resistance to these processes. I release it from my energy in all forms, on all levels, and at all points in time. I'm going to repeat that 2 more times. Okay. So, I now release all resistance to these processes. I release them from my energy in all forms, on all levels, and at all points in time. Beautiful. One more go. I now release all resistances to these processes. I release them from my energy in all forms, on all levels, and at all points in time. Beautiful. Okay, so now I'm just going to start to tune into the energy. So I'm going to talk about each area that I've been asked to, and I will just see what the threads, what the energies are saying that I can pick out and start to clear. I will check in whether or not, I'll check in with the light gang, whether or not you need to say the clearing statements with me, or whether I can say them and you just say yes. Yes to that. Yes. Okay. So the first I'm going to start to look at is confidence. Struggling with confidence. Oh yes, that feels like a great big old dirty river. Okay, so I'm going to invite that this energy for everybody who joins us live and also watches the replay. Everywhere where confidence seems hard to get and hard to keep. Everywhere where confidence in the person that I am, the person that I'm becoming, seems to be lacking. I'm just going to clean this first layer off. Everything that underpins it, everything that holds it stuck in place, and everything that it links to. Okay, please highlight that, angels, and highlight that in everybody. There we go. And we now deconstruct it, dissolve it, delete it across all layers of infinity, dimensions, constellations, patterns, and ancestral timelines. And so it is. Yeah. So what I'm hearing here is that you don't need to say them. You just need to say yes to that. Yes to that. That way it'll come in and clear it for you. Okay. The fact that you are here has given me permission to do this energy clearing. And anything else I need to check? No? Okay. Not right now. It will show itself if it does need to. Okay, so the confidence, show me again what else is left of the confidence thing, please. Okay, everywhere where we feel like we're not good enough, everywhere where we feel that we should be doing it differently or better, everywhere we can't just be ourselves exactly as we are, but still be loved, cherished and honoured and respected for that. Everything that is, please highlight. Everybody. And now bring in lots more light, please, angels. Okay, everything that is, everything that underpins it, everything that holds it stuck in place, this is where you say yes please to that. We now deconstruct it, dissolve it, delete it across all layers of infinity, dimensions, constellations, patterns, and ancestral readings. Okay, so that's got a lot less dirty river. What else have we got here, confidence-wise? This is linking into the imposter syndrome and self-belief, so we'll naturally tackle into that. Okay, so everywhere where we just don't believe in ourselves, the person that we are, the gifts that we're sharing, our uniqueness, everything that is, you highlight that, please, angel. And everything that underpins it, everything that holds it stuck in place, everything that it leads to. We now deconstruct that, dissolve that, delete that across all layers of infinity, dimensions, constellations, patterns, and ancestral timelines. Okay. Everywhere where we still have that self-deprecating voice, that voice that is critical, those voices, I should say, they come from two different places. Everywhere where that's still active, everywhere where we still believe we're not good enough because of whatever, ... whatever story that might be. Everywhere where we compare ourselves to other people who are doing it better or more or whatever it might be, or differently. I like all of that. Lots more light, please, angels. Everywhere where we continue to get in our own way so that we can't put our unique messages out into the world. Everything that is, I like that. Everywhere where we feel sad about that, everywhere where we feel grief-stricken about that, everywhere we feel desperate and sick about it, highlight that. Everywhere where we feel angry that we don't get that out there, everything that is, highlight that. Everywhere we get frustrated with ourselves, highlight that. Okay, is there anything else here to highlight right now? Forward. Everywhere where we're shy about what we have to offer, and therefore we hide the light under the bushel, so to speak, in case no one wants to hear from us, in case we offend somebody, in case. So everywhere where there's fear around this, which is moving into the imposter syndrome, everywhere where we believe we just can't do it, everything that is, highlight all of that. Okay, let's clear this tranche of info out. So everything that is, everything that underpins it, everything that it leads to, everything that holds it stuck in place, highlight all of that, please, angels. Flood it with lots more love and light, please. Okay, and we now deconstruct it, dissolve it, delete it across all layers of infinity, dimensions, constellations, patterns, and ancestral timelines. So it is. Right, bear with me, I'm just waiting for all the energy to move out. Now, I should say, as I'm waiting for this to happen, that when we're clearing this energy out, this is not a one-time fixes everything. What we clear out is literally like an onion. We peel one layer off and then something else might show itself to us. But what will happen, the more we clear, what will happen is the thing that we need to release shows itself in a completely different way. So, for instance, if you started off and you were being shown bad relationship after bad relationship after bad relationship, and perhaps it was a boundary issue. Maybe you weren't able to put your boundaries down and say, this is what I want, for instance. Once we clear that layer out, it might well be that you don't have one relationship after another. It might be, if you work with people, that a person outside of your dynamic, outside of your personal relationships, shows another way that you need to put a boundary down. And that will come up highlighted that way. And once that's cleared out of the way, you might have a boundary issue that shows with yourself, like, I don't take time out for myself. For instance, if that was your thing, I haven't got time. I hear that a lot. I haven't got time for that. But that's a boundary issue too. It's a self-care issue, but it's a boundary issue too. So once we clear each of these layers out, you start to get a much clearer picture, and then the issue doesn't need to show itself to you. What happens is, if there's something that we need to clear, something that we need to heal, it will keep presenting itself to you on the outside world to make you go, oh, that's what's going on for me. And it takes us a long time to realize this. Often we have to do a lot of healing, a lot of self-development, a lot of spiritual development before we realize that everything is actually showing itself as a warning, as a signpost, as a flag to say, more healing needed here, please. And that's all that is. So we don't judge it, we allow it, and we go, thank you very much for that gift of insight. And then we go away and do the work. And the work would be being present to the feelings and then clearing out the ideas that we have, the beliefs, etc. There's lots of ways to do this, which we won't go into tonight, but energy clearing statements is a really good way of doing that. So I'm just going to check in with that energy that was left there. So confidence feels like it's got much lighter, but it's got a line through it. So we need to have a look at confidence energy. What are you? Okay, so everywhere where we just keep beating ourselves up, and we are our own worst nightmares with our self-talk. Any other piece to this? Right, everything that is, everything that underpins it, everything that holds it stuck in place, everything that it leads to. Now, highlight all of that, please, angels. Lots more light. Now, let's deconstruct it, dissolve it, delete it across all layers of infinity of dimensions, constellations, patterns, and ancestral timelines. And so it is. Right, at this point, I would suggest you take some water. When we're moving energy, we need to keep rehydrating. It's like going to the gym, but it's on an energy level rather than a physical level. Okay. Okay. Right, let's check in with that confidence. Confidence piece is done. I want to check in with the self-belief piece as well, because they were all linked. So self-belief, oh, that's still slightly prominent, but it's not bad. What else is in here? The comparison monster again. So everywhere where we compare ourselves to others and find ourselves lacking everything that is, everything that it has ever been, everywhere where that shows up in your life, everywhere where everything that underpins it, everything that holds it stuck in place, everything that it leads to, highlight all of that. And now let's deconstruct it, dissolve it, delete it across all layers of infinity, dimensions, constellations, patterns, and ancestral timelines. Wonderful. So it is. Let's have a look. That's the link. Okay, good. That one's cleared. Need to clear that one as well. Let's have a look. Imposter syndrome. Okay, so what's left with the imposter syndrome, I feel, is like fear of repercussions if you get it wrong. Have a look. Is there any? Let's clear that one out of the way first. So everywhere where there's fear of repercussions, if you get it wrong, highlight that. Put lots of love and light into it, angels. Everybody, always for everybody. And now let's deconstruct that, dissolve that, delete that across all layers of infinity, dimensions, constellations, patterns, and ancestral timelines. And so it is. Remembering you keep saying yes to that. Okay. All right. There's something right at the bottom of this. Okay, so everywhere where it's habitual, you just put yourself down to keep telling yourself that you're just no good at this or you need to do it differently. Everywhere there's a habit around this imposter syndrome, feeling, thought, highlight that. Everything that it leads to, highlight that. Everything that it comes from, highlight that. Okay, and now let's deconstruct it, dissolve it, delete it across all layers of infinity, dimensions, constellations, patterns, and ancestral time. Right. Tiny, like a line. So it's like a river, is what I see. And it all grays out. And apart from, there's a tiny line at the bottom. And I just want to bring that forward. I'm just going to open my window, so bear with me a second. What is that line? Again, the shyness. There's more shyness. Okay. What's the shyness in this? Okay, so the shyness seems to be linked to the old British belief of don't boast. Don't basically sing your own glories. Don't talk about yourself. Rude. It's all of that stuff. Okay. So let's highlight all of that. Is there another piece to this? Show me. Okay, and everywhere where we have to be modest. This is an ancestral thing as well as a cultural thing. So everything that is, please highlight. Please bring lots more light in, and let's deconstruct it, dissolve it, delete it across all layers of infinity, dimensions, constellations, patterns, and ancestral timelines. Okay, that line's gone down. There's nothing more to clear at this point. Okay, and then we had the request to look at relationship issues. So the first thing that tends to happen with relationships when there's issues is that we have expectations of the other person or even ourselves, okay, of how they should be rather than they are. And what happens is we can pigeonhole them down to such degree that we're unable to see the whole of them anymore. We just get riled or irritated by the things that don't meet our expectations. So let's start off with saying everything that is, and it's vast, isn't it? Everything that is, we now highlight. Lots and lots of love and light, please, angels. And everywhere where we expect people to be a particular way, and everywhere where we have a reaction to that when it's not how we want it to be, everything that is, please highlight. Okay, let's just clear that out way. That feels like that package is full at the moment. So everything that is, everything that this leads to, everything that holds it stuck in place, everything that underpins it, highlight all of that. Let's deconstruct it, dissolve it, delete it across all layers of infinity, dimensions, constellations, patterns, and ancestral timelines. So it is. Okay, what else is there here? Everywhere where we can't just relax with other people or ourselves for that matter. Everything that is, please highlight. Let's deconstruct that, dissolve that, delete that across all layers of infinity, dimensions, constellations, patterns, and ancestral timelines. What else is here, please? Everywhere where we feel sad that it isn't as we want it to be. Everywhere we feel angry that it isn't as we want it to be. Everywhere we feel frustrated that it isn't as we want it to be, or depressed, grief-stricken, feeling ashamed. Maybe there's jealousy involved here. Is there anything else in this space? Any fury, rage, highlight all of that. And everything that underpins that, everything that holds it stuck in place, everything that it leads to. Let's deconstruct that, dissolve that, delete that across all layers of infinity, dimensions, constellations, patterns, and ancestral timelines. Okay, so it is. Okay. Can you bring that piece forward, please, angels? Okay. Everywhere where there's a sense of blaming, why can't it be like that? Reluctance to allow it to be different, even though you want it to be different. You're so fixed in how this idea is. So everything that is, everything that highlights that, everything that holds it stuck in place, everything it leads to. We're going to pour lots of love and light into this as we encompass all of that. As we deconstruct it, dissolve it, delete it across all layers of infinity, dimensions, constellations, patterns, and ancestral timelines. Okay. I feel like if you were able to stand, I'd want you to give it a good shake now, okay? I'm going to get an aura spray, and I'm just going to spray it into the energies of our group. Bear with me. Because there's an amazing place. Okay, so you will get, as I connect into this, bring this to the group. Okay. Right, is there anything else here? Okay, everywhere where we just can't let things go, we can't allow it to be different. Everything that is, please highlight. Everything that it leads to, everything that underpins it, everything that holds it stuck in place. Let's deconstruct that, dissolve that, delete that across all layers of infinity, dimensions, constellations, patterns, and ancestral timelines. And so it is. Okay. Right, I'm just going to check in again. Is there anything else with these relationships? No, that's clear. Good. Okay, then we're going to go to the health healing. Let's tune into this. Oh, this is a big one. So the first layer I want to take off is that it's never going to get any better. It will always be this way. One of those declarative statements, which we can often say, oh, why is it always like this? And therefore, that's kind of what we expect to see. So I'm just going to take away that expectation of that declarative statement. To everything that is, please highlight. Please bring lots more love and light in, angels. Got it deep and heavy topic. Okay, so now we deconstruct that, dissolve that, delete that across all layers of infinity, dimensions, constellations, patterns, and ancestral timelines. Everywhere where we feel disempowered by these health issues, which we could also reframe as we feel victim to these health issues, highlight that. Everything that underpins it, everything that it leads to, everything that holds it stuck in place. We highlight all of that, lots and lots of love and light, these angels. And now we deconstruct it, dissolve it, delete it across all layers of infinity, dimensions, constellations, patterns, and ancestral timelines. And so it is. All the sadness, the grief, the loss surrounding these health issues or any health issue. Highlight all of that. Anger that it happened to you. Highlight that. And even when we don't think we're angry, we can often have buried that anger, particularly as women. We bury because it's antisocial to be angry. That's what we're taught in our culture. But it's a natural reaction, and it's one that shows us where we need to be, or we would like more power. So let's just highlight that. And everything that leads to, everything that holds it stuck in place, everything that underpins it, all of that, please highlight. Now deconstruct that, dissolve that, delete that across all layers of infinity, dimensions, constellations, patterns, and ancestral timelines. Okay, I'm going to do another little spray because that was a big energy just there. Spraying you as a group. Drinking water, always drink water. Okay. Bit more sadness. That's okay. So we're going to invite that sadness forward. Now, in this instance, does this sadness need to be cleared as an energy form, or does it need to be connected with? Okay, just cleared. That's good. So all this sadness, everywhere where the sadness came from, everything that it led to, everything that holds it stuck in place, everything that underpins it, all of that, please highlight. Now deconstruct that, dissolve that, delete that, most lovingly with lots of love and light across all layers of infinity, dimensions, constellations, patterns, and ancestral timelines. So it is. Okay. Everywhere where we're quietly sad about health issues, but we don't want to be a bother, don't want to bring it to anyone's attention, but we feel really alone in this, isolated, separate, everything that is, now we gently but lovingly highlight that. Everything that underpins it, everything that holds it stuck in place, everything that it leads to, highlight all of that. Let's deconstruct it, dissolve it, delete it across all layers of infinity, dimensions, constellations, patterns, and ancestral timelines. Don't be surprised as we're doing this if there's tears. It's completely normal because you're also releasing, but you're acknowledging how you feel. And tears are a way of recognizing a truth about something because it hits a chord. I'm just going to tune in and see what else is here. It's ready to be released right now. Okay, and there's another piece here that's talking about or connecting with, I don't know how to do it any differently. I don't know how to be any different. Because when we have particularly long-term health issues, we become quite identified with them. So I used to talk about being an asthmatic, and now I try and say as I get asthma, I have asthma, rather than I am an asthmatic, because the I am statement is the thing that makes it us in a full-bodied kind of I can't think of the next word. It means that we manifest it by saying I am. So anything we put after I am needs to be really good, because anything less than that will bring your energy down, and therefore your physical health, your mental, emotional health, and your spiritual health will start to drop. So we must make sure we say I am, and usually something positive like glorious. And we'll do some of this in a minute, because ultimately we all need to know we're absolutely gorgeous and amazing, don't we? That's how we get our gifts in the world. And it's not immodest to say this, because we're unique. We're beautiful human beings who come here to share our gifts and the very people that we are. Okay, so let's start to look at this piece. I'll go back to my thread again, which I've lost back. Okay, so everywhere we've made aspects of ill health or injury, this can be mental, emotional, or physical, where we've made this part of our identity, where our life revolves around this. Okay, so everything that is. Now let's highlight that. Everything that underpins it, everything that holds it stuck in place, everything that it leads to. Lots of love and light, please, angels. Beautiful. Oh, and I'm getting the vibe to tell you that you are so appreciated by the Light Gang. It's like making me want to cry, because they love you for everything that you are, everything that you do, and everything that you share. Okay, so everything that we were picking up from that bottom of the river, as it were, everywhere where we've made it our identity, everything that leads to, right, all of that, we now deconstruct that, dissolve that, delete that across all layers of infinity, dimensions, constellations, patterns, and ancestral timelines. And so it is. Good. Okay. There seems like a feeling of relief in this space. Is there anything else that we need to clear in this session? Clearing health, healing. Okay, one big piece, and this gets in the way for most of us when we have health issues, is the having to change it, the wanting to change it, the not accepting the way it is. Now, one of the things we do when we tap, which is EFT, emotional freedom technique, is to start by saying, even though I have this issue, I still completely love and accept myself. Now, when we do this, is to actually honor where we're at, because we can pretend that we're without the problem, but it's not true. We are with the problem at the moment. So by acknowledging it, by admitting to ourselves and all the feelings that start to come up about that, by tuning into that and being with that, is honesty. That's truth. It's the first point where we can start to relax. Even if it feels tense, you're acknowledging the tension of having it. Because when we keep pushing it away, pretending we don't have it, we build up this massive conflict and a huge amount of energy that goes into keeping it at bay. Okay, so I'm hoping that that makes sense. So let's just look at this. Okay, so everywhere where we can't just accept things are the way that they are, and that we've had to adapt, and that means life has felt different compared to everybody else's, everything that is, now highlight. And lovingly, we bring so much love and light into this. We now deconstruct that, dissolve that, delete that across all layers of infinity, dimensions, constellations, patterns, and ancestral timelines. Okay, is there anything else here? No, so I'm getting a word for a step 5, which we'll do in a minute. Okay, now the final thing I want to look at is money blocks. This is a big one. So let's just start with the basics. Everywhere where I believe I cannot access all the money that I need, please highlight that. Actually, let's reframe that. Where I cannot access all the money that I desire, highlight that. Okay, let's just clear that bit off first. Everything that underpins it, everything that holds it stuck in place, and everything that it leads to, highlighting all of that. And we deconstruct it, dissolve it, delete it across all layers of infinity, dimensions, constellations, patterns, and good. Okay, what else? Show me what you're trying to say. Everywhere where our own reality shows us that we don't have it and therefore blocks us from the possibility of having it, the abundance, the prosperity, the money. Highlight all of that, everything that underpins it, everything that holds us stuck in place, everything, all of that. Lots of love and light, please, angels. And then let's deconstruct it, dissolve it, delete it across all layers of infinity, dimensions, constellations, patterns, and ancestral timelines. Okay, what else is here? All of the feelings that go with that, the anger, the frustration, the irritation, the desperation, sadness, the shame, guilt, everything that is. Now highlight all of that. Okay, and now we deconstruct that, dissolve that, delete that across all layers of infinity, dimensions, constellations, patterns, and ancestral timelines. And everywhere where we've got our current money status from our ancestors, you know, that whole money doesn't grow on trees, those sorts of beliefs, I can't think of any more off the top of my head, they've sort of vanished. So everywhere where we've got our ideas about wealth, about like only poor people are good, rich people are evil, money makes you evil, those sorts of things. Let's just highlight all of those old stories that our culture keeps churning out. Our parents have introduced to us, our grandparents have introduced to us, you know, like, don't spend it on something silly, don't spend it on sweets, spend it on something proper. And it's up to you how you spend your money. And it's only you that can change your consciousness around that and be more responsible and therefore cooperative. So everything that is, lots of light, these angels, everything that underpins it, everything that holds stuff in place, and everything that it leads to, we now deconstruct it, dissolve it, delete it across all layers of infinity, dimensions, constellations, patterns, and ancestral timelines. Okay, just gonna have a drink. That was big energy, so I'm gonna wait for it to clear a moment. Let's give it a bit of help. Yeah, that's in your energy too. What else is here? Everywhere where we make do, and we can be really proud that we make do, to the point where that can become an identity thing as well. So everything that is, we highlight, everything that underpins it, everything that it leads to, everything that holds it stuck in place. We now deconstruct it, dissolve it, delete it across all layers of infinity, dimensions, constellations, patterns, and ancestral timelines. And so it is. Okay. And everywhere where we just don't believe it's possible for us for it to be any different, everything that is, we highlight that, everything that underpins it, everything that holds it stuck in place, everything that it leads to. We now deconstruct it, dissolve it, delete it across all layers of infinity, dimensions, constellations, patterns, and ancestral timelines. So it is. And it's quite wordy, this clearing statement, but we do only have to say it once, and it was kind of downloaded to me. So it's close to my heart, this one. Is there anything else with the money blocks at this juncture that need clearing? Okay, everything that stands in the way of hope, the feelings of hope, the thoughts of hope, and openness and freedom, everything that stands in the way of that, we now deconstruct it, dissolve it, delete it across all layers of infinity, dimensions, constellations, patterns, and ancestral timelines. And so it is. Okay. Everywhere, and this is really important actually, where we don't already celebrate every penny and every aspect of richness and abundance that comes to us. For instance, money blocks is a key thing, but everywhere where we're not acknowledging the goodness that's already in our lives. So that could be our close relationships with friends, with family. That could be our creative life, where we get so much out of what we do. Honor that, respect that, and acknowledge it. And what else is there? There's, like, for instance, there's everything in our lives that makes us feel good. Say thank you to that. Can I have more of that, please, universe? Because that will then start to get you in the vibration of it's already here, rather than I'm having to create it, or the victim mentality, which is it's not possible for me. There's 4 layers of consciousness. The first one is to me, where things are happening to me, and that's the victim consciousness, the disempowered consciousness. And then the next one up from there is by me, which is basically I will make this happen, which is a very big driving force. And in our culture presently, that's a very old patriarchal way of doing things. Push, 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 sell, 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 do. That's that by me attitude, which can lead to utter exhaustion and gets you completely out of alignment with yourself. And then the next one is through me, which is basically where you ask the universe to kind of work through you, so that you're part of it, but you're still separate from the oneness, if that makes sense. So the oneness would be the divine, it would be God, it would be Allah, it would be angels, it could be whatever way that you perceive that's something else, but it would be still separate from you. And then the final level of consciousness, which is what we all aim to be eventually, live by, tricky as it is the as me, where literally you and the divine are one. You are one with everything else that's around you, birds, the trees, the people, even the annoying people. You are connected to them, and that's the as me consciousness, which, as I say, is the highest level. So when we settle into the victim, or I have to do it myself, we are separating ourselves from that divine energy, from that abundance, from that already here feeling. And so let's, first of all, I'm going to jot a note down because I've just remembered something I want to share with you. Okay, so everything that is, everywhere where we're not able to be in the through me or as me consciousness with regard to money, with regard to prosperity, abundance, and the richness and the riches of life, everything that is, please highlight. That's some big energy. And everything that underpins it, everything that holds it stuff in place, everything that leads to, we now deconstruct it, dissolve it, delete it across all layers of infinity, dimensions, constellations, patterns, and ancestral timelines. Release that out. Big energy. One of the tips I heard, which I love to keep being reminded of because it doesn't stay in my brain all the time, is the law of assumption. And this law of assumption is basically go around walking, talking, acting like the thing that you're looking for has already happened. It's already in your life, it's already in your bank account, it's already there. So if that was a love life thing, you would literally walk around like you already had the love of your life in your life. If it's the money thing, just keep imagining, oh God, yeah, I've got like thousands in the bank now. It feels fabulous. And then keep going on through your day. That law of assumption will help you to be the vibrational match to the thing that you're trying to bring in. I hope that makes sense. It's quite a big topic in of its own, but this one little piece I think might be really useful for you. So I'm just going to tune in. Is there anything else with the money blocks at this point? Okay, what I'm getting is confusion, and I'm so sorry if I'm confusing you. There's a lot here, and I'm also talking quite fast to try and get through it. What I would suggest is you take what you want to take in and leave the rest. Okay, just leave the rest. Allow it to be. Don't try to analyze it. Don't try and figure it out. Just allow it. When you're ready, you'll come back to this. Okay. So everywhere where there's confusion around all of this, everywhere where me personally, I've brought up all sorts of questions and not understandings, and then not sure because you don't understand everything that is, everywhere where it can't just be received and understood on an energetic level, everything that is, we now highlight and we now deconstruct it, dissolve it, delete it across all layers of infinity, dimensions, constellations, patterns, and ancestral timelines. Beautiful. Right, I'm going to check in one more time, but I feel like we've spent a lot of time on this. We're probably quite exhausted, and that would be normal. Make sure you're drinking water. Okay, is there anything else to be clearing here? No. Okay, so we've cleared out a great big layer, which is fantastic, and thank you for providing all of that information. It really makes these sessions so much more helpful, because then I know where you want the energies to go. So the next thing we're going to do, right at the beginning, we did an energy clearing statement that was created by Yvette Taylor, who's the creator of Energy Alignment Method, also known as EAM. And she has a beautiful thing that we call step 5, where you call in the energy of what it is that you want to be, do, have. Okay. So I'm going to explain it first, because your shoulders ache otherwise. Mine do, and I'm used to doing this every day. So let's just tune in. What I'm going to be asking you to do is repeat after me. We will do it 3 times, but each of the times will be slightly different. It's not like when you're clearing the energy out, you have to be quite specific. With this, you're calling in the goodness, basically. And when we do this, we're going to have our arms up like a great big funnel. We're going to finish what we're saying. We'll take a deep breath in. We'll release the breath. And then we will start to bring our arms slowly down by our sides. And if you're sensitive to energy, you'll start to feel like shivering and tingles. You might just feel happy. But even if you're not sensitive to energy, you might just feel there's more clarity around you, because you've started to clear your energy. And everything that you do in the world has to be felt, has to be seen, has to be heard through the energy. And that's why things can be distorted. You might notice that some people don't seem to be really good at actually listening to what's said. They make up their own version, and that's because there's distortions in their field, okay, which is what we've done. We're clearing that up, a bit like a window cleaner cleaning up a messy patch on a window. So we're now going to allow ourselves to be arms up, have your feet flat on the floor, and let's begin. I now allow myself, you keep that, to feel, to be, to know that I am free, radiant, abundant, loved, cherished and appreciated, unique and beautiful, exactly as I am. I invite that experience into my energy in all forms, on all levels, and at all points in time. Okay, we're going to do this 2 more times. I now allow myself to experience peace and ease and flow and lightness, magic and happiness, connection and love. I invite all of this into my experience in all forms, on all levels, and at all points in time. One more. If your arms are starting to ache, just kind of bring them in here. I do get how sore they get. I now allow myself to experience happiness and magic and wonder. My own beauty, my own uniqueness, and my own special gifts. My own, no, scrap that bit. The love and the appreciation and the wisdom and the intuition of the full alignment of me in all my glory. I invite that into my energy in all forms, on all levels, and at all points in time. Deep breath in. Keep the arms up, let the breath go. And then gently, 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 bringing your arms down by your sides. Sorry, I wriggle because it feels really nice. It was all tickly and light. Okay, beautiful. So that's the step 5, which just allows all the goodness to come in, and that replaces all the places where we've cleared your energy out and brought in what you're looking for. Okay. And now we have only about 5 or 10 minutes left, because I'm already going slightly over, and I do apologize. I just want to settle you into a space of light and love. Okay, so feel your feet on the floor if that's possible. Allow yourself to be relaxed, sitting upright. And now with every breath in, imagine that your energy, your in-breath, your life force energy is bringing a beautiful, radiant, shimmery white light into the body. And then with every out-breath, it's spreading through the body, filling you up like you were a glass vessel to become full of this brilliant, radiant white light. Hopefully that makes sense. With every breath in, breathing into the belly space, remember that beautiful, radiant, loving light as you then spread it with the out breath through to each and every cell within your body. And again, breathing in, feeling your feet flat on the floor. Noticing that loving connection with Mother Earth as you breathe this energy in and breathe it out into the body. And again, breathing in and breathing out, filling yourself up. We keep doing this so that the energy starts to fill up the vessel that is your human self, and then starts to almost leak through your pores into the energy, the bubble that surrounds you, the aura. Excuse me. Breathing in, fill up your belly with that beautiful, radiant, shimmery white light, and then spread it out into the body, into the aura. And remember that this shimmery, beautiful white light represents abundance, happiness, freedom, love, connection, all the wonderful divine qualities. They're all available to you, that oneness of being held and loved just exactly as you are, for exactly who you are. As you breathe in and allow, and breathe out and fill up your energy centers, the aura. almost like you're a really white, glowing, egg-shaped ready bread kid. If you remember those adverts. Now we invite the divine to pour its way into you through the crown of your head, like the crown of your head is a beautiful lotus flower, opening up. And as you're breathing in, you breathe that energy in, but as your crown opens, it pours down into you and around you. This beautiful, radiant white light. Particularly pay attention to the areas that might feel darker, that might cause you problems. There might be feelings of tension there. Allow this light into that space more. Loving it. Even though it's there, we're just going to love it. And then as that's happening, I want you to imagine a beautiful, fluffy, big fluffy cloth. And like a window cleaner, like I mentioned earlier, and that window cleaner's coming and polishing off your aura, your energy bubble. And as it's coming round, it's making it shiny and squeaky and clear. You've done so much work. When you're finished here, nothing else is required of you, energetically or emotionally. Just go to bed and sleep. Allow yourself to be replenished while you sleep, knowing that this energy is with you at all times. And beautifully, we ask that that light pours down to within you, yes, and around you, continues as you sleep, but in a way that allows you to sleep deeply, comfortably, easily, allowing you to be replenished and rejuvenated when you wake at your normal, natural time. We set that intention and we ask that the angels allow that to be so for each and every one of you. Beautiful. And again, the more you practice this, the easier it becomes and the more light-filled you will feel your energy and your body to be. And one final piece, and I tend to be a little bit reluctant about putting this piece in when you're about to go off to bed. But if you're in a household where there's any angst, any uncomfortability at all, this would be, it's wise to do it, but it's also wise to do before you go into the world tomorrow. And this is something called the permission rose. So the permission rose basically is a beautiful rose with whatever color flower you like, and it's going to be placed right at the edge of your aura, which should, in theory, be further than your hands can reach in all directions. So we expand the auras out, and also when we do that, we allow more love and light into the space. We don't feel things quite so intensely because they're further away. Now, that rose right at the edge of your aura, and it's going to move around your aura. It might circulate up and down, side to side, a bit like an atom when you see those images. But basically, the flower is a beautiful greeting for those that you meet because it's at the edge of your energy. And if they get too close or push against your boundaries, they'll feel the thorns. And that's just to encourage them to take a step back and to remember that this energy space is yours, just as they have their own energy space. And when you invoke, and you just need to say, I now have a permission rose, or 20, depending on what you're doing. Some people need more than the one. When you invoke that permission rose, I like to invite my permission rose to invite others to match it, so that they too have their own space, they have their own permission rose, and therefore they get their energy, I get my energy, and we can respect each other's boundaries. And all I ask of my permission rose is that those that come into connection with it can match it or mirror it. Simple as that. Okay, so just tuning in with that breath again. How light-filled are you starting to feel? You could do this as a practice before bed. And now begin to feel your feet flat on the floor, connecting with Mother Earth, sending a grounding cord down into the center of Mother Earth, into her earth womb. Doesn't matter what it looks like, just have the intention. You're sending a grounding cord to the center of Mother Earth. And then widen the grounding cord so it's at least as wide as you. That way you get tons of nourishment. And it holds you stable and steady. So there you are, you're held a bit like an egg in an egg cup. You're held from below with Mother Earth. You have divine energies pouring into and around you. And you have a permission rose on the edge, just like the shell, but much less restrictive, allowing you to receive and allowing you to release. Beautiful. And that completes our session for today, as we have gone quite a lot over, so I don't want to run over anymore. And I want to say thank you for joining us, and to remind you that if you want to be part of this community, this membership, the email details will be coming out tonight. And in fact, they might already be in your inbox. And then tomorrow I shall send out both replays and the fast acting bonus with the cheaper membership price and the chakra balancing workshop. That runs out tomorrow at midnight. And that's it. I do hope you got a lot from this. I would really welcome any feedback as to what you noticed as you shifted things. And just keep an eye on things over the next couple of weeks. See if anything changes, because sometimes it's so subtle you don't notice. You're welcome, Fiona, and you're welcome, Eleanor. Thank you. And I let you, off you go to bed. Lots of love.